Dude, talk about the biggest ripoff, like in hindsight. Fucking Beyblades.
Dude, what do you mean? That brought me so much joy. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, at the end of the day, you're just buying decorative tops at probably
that fight each other.
Yeah, well, yeah, duh. But have you actually done a Beyblade duel in one of those like little arena things?
Yep.
Yeah, half the time the tops are flying out of the arena. That's like the majority of all the battles. They just fly out of the arena.
Yeah, because your Beyblade's weak.
Damn.
We should have
a...
Do you know how many rip cords that I've been through?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Some of those, like a lot of them were like the cheap ones, but then you got the ones that were like the super thick ones that you could like actually shoot out. Like those were the
Wait, are we still talking about Beyblades?
Yes, I'm still talking about Beyblade. Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Well, what we were supposed to have like nostalgia every week or something like that, or whatever the. I'm trying here. All right.
No, that's a good one. I think, like rip-off toys is a very deep subject. What's a rip-off toy for you, Matt? What's the rip-off toy that you don't have to enjoy it, but if you
don't
did,
get me wrong, I enjoyed Beyblades, but at the end of the day, if you're looking into the top market, whatever if that exists, who knows? It is a rip-off.
Well, I say just all toys are rip-offs, because what toy from back then do you still have now that you use? Even like an N64.
I would say an N64 probably keeps. I would say almost everyone in college, if you had an N64, like you're in. I mean, you're automatically the popular guy, unless you're like a friend of mine from back when I worked in Omaha, who had a Nintendo 64, but he had none of the good games. He didn't have Mario Party. He didn't have Mario Kart. He didn't have GoldenEye, I don't think. It was just like, what are you doing? Like, who wants to go to your house?
What did he have? Perfect Dark?
I don't remember what he had.
Diddy Kong Racing? Turok? Oh my god, I hated it.
He might have had Diddy Kong. I don't remember. It was so long, and I was so angry when he told me that I kind of just blanked it out of my memory. But like, yeah, I just couldn't excuse the fact that he didn't have Mario Kart or Mario Party. Like,
that was me. I didn't have that stuff. I had Mario 64, and then
that's still a good game though.
I didn't like that game.
Oh, well.
I wasn't good at it, and like the whole exploration thing, I didn't get. I had Pokemon Snap. That was fun as fuck. I had Hey You Pikachu. That whole game.
Wow, I remember that.
Too ahead of its time.
Oh,
it was a piece of shit. It was kind of a piece of shit. Like the microphone system. You have to clip it onto the N64 controller. There you go. That's my biggest ripoff. Hey You Pikachu. Did I have a good time with it? Yeah, it was all right.
I remember that.
And then I had like Pokemon Stadium and stuff.
Oh yeah, but those are classics. Yeah,
those mini games are still like way better than Mario games for me.
That is a hot take. Oh, that's an Omega hot take. But okay.
Wait. Biggest ripoff Pokemon cards. Did anyone actually like play a lot of Pokemon battles?
No one knows how to play that game.
You say that's a big ripoff, but like you can. I know how to play that game.
What?
Because I played the Game Boy. I played the Game Boy game.
No, the card game is way different.
No, there was a Pokemon trading card Game Boy game.
Oh my god! You know what? Now that you just said that, I absolutely know what you're talking about. Yep.
I need to like refresh on it, but yeah, that was fun. Yeah, the Pokemon card game is like pretty legit.
Okay, so Rob is the only person in California who knows how to play the Pokemon trading game.
Yeah. Can you so how did you play? Like, I remember you had energy things.
Yeah, you had energy counters.
Oh, you mean the trash cards? Those. Yeah, okay.
They're not trash. You needed them to use your Pokemon. What are you going to fuel your Pokemon with? Other Pokemon? No.
I just remember playing my siblings and always convincing them that whatever I did was possible. So I won all the time. Except for like a couple of times. You gotta lead them on.
It's like season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! You got to bend the rules a little bit to win.
But everyone knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Though. That was way easier.
Everyone knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Except the people in the show during the first season in Duelist Kingdom, where they just fucking made up the rules, just summon like an 8-star monster without any sacrifices.
It's the heart of the cards, dude. I mean, what can you say? I remember what happened to my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and my Pokemon cards. My Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards I gave to one of my grade school friends just because I didn't play it anymore and he wanted them. So I was just being a nice dude. And my Pokemon cards, I sold all of them at a garage sale. I don't remember for how much. I want to say it was like $40 or $50. And the whole time we were in the garage sale, I was like, man, some boy's going to come along. He's going to see these cards. He's going to think it's really cool. Yada, yada, yada. Boy after boy after boy after boy crosses by, doesn't give a shit about those cards. Oh. But this one girl comes through in the clutch and is like, Daddy, I want these. And I was like, fuck, yes, we're getting a sale. So shout out to that girl, wherever she is. I hope she enjoyed my holographics, my 3 legendary birds. I don't remember if I had
holographic legendary birds.
No, they weren't holographics. I had a lot of holographics, but I don't think I didn't have like everyone wanted the Charizard, obviously.
Yeah,
but
that one was selling for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I never owned a Charizard card. I think I had a Charmeleon. Like all the energy cards I had in the sleeves, but like I had so many. I don't remember. I think it was fire. I had so many fire elemental energy cards that it started to like break the plastic because of how thick it was when I kept trying to stuff them in there. I know exactly
what you mean.
It was just like, Jesus Christ, how do I get rid of these fucking cards? But,
so you had that Pokemon binder, huh?
Yeah, I had like it was a card binder, yeah. So
I love that shit. I had that one too.
See, Pokemon cards I wouldn't consider rip-off at all, because if you had like a perfectly printed holographic Zapdos first edition, right now you can sell that for $600 on eBay.
Well, that girl who probably so what was I had a lot. I had like a holographic Vileplume, like a holographic Azumarill. I picked this up when I was in Spain. I have a bootleg Pokemon card. It is a Pokemon. It's Hariyama, who is from Ruby and Sapphire, except the name on it isn't Hariyama. It's Mienfoo, which is another Pokemon from some generation I don't talk about. And it's just a card I found face down in the streets of Spain because someone must have realized it was a fake. And I picked it up and I was like, oh, sick. Where am I going to get a Spanish ripoff card in America? Nowhere. So I just stuffed it in my wallet. And now I got it. So that's the only Pokemon card I have to my name right now.
Well, that's not even worth anything because it's a bootleg.
Well, that's not for me to sell. It's just for me to be like, oh, that's neat. And that's about it.
Mienfoo. What generation is this?
I don't know.
Making shit up.
I thought it was the Spanish name when I looked at it first. I was like, Mienfoo. Is that what they call Hariyama in Spanish? And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, Mienfoo is an actual Pokemon. It's spelled Mienfoo, I think. And
yeah, what generation is this?
I don't know. I stopped after third generation, so anything past that is beyond my small brain.
Mienfoo sounds like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan.
It's literally Winnie the Pooh doing kung fu.
It's Winnie the Pooh?
Is it?
It's Winnie the Pooh doing kung fu.
That is amazing.
Oh, yeah. What an interesting Pokemon. Gen 5. Okay, that's probably why I don't know it.
I don't even know what Gen 5 is. I don't know where we go from here.
Oh, I don't know. We're just talking about like trading cards and shit.
Oh, yeah, because it was like a ripoff. I still think it's a ripoff because, like, I don't think many people are making too much money. It's like only a certain amount of people that are, but, like, for the amount Pokemon made from trading cards, is probably trumps whatever they're selling for.
Did you just say Trump?
Oh, shoot. Canceled.
Yes, I know our podcast listeners are outrageously liberal. So unfortunately, Matt, we have to kill you after this episode.
Hey,
I don't make the rules. Politics is a jungle, and you just you stepped into some quicksand. I'm sorry.
I did. I don't know where to go from here. I apologize, yo.
You just upset all the fan base, all 6 of them.
You upset Vaughn, okay? And that's what really matters. All right.
Well, should I say it Bidens them then?
No.
What do I say now?
It's too late.
Not any better. This is just the podcast where you remain silent.
I'll just breathe every now and then. I'll just give a breath.
Oh man. Well, welcome back to the Neat Boys Podcast. And pop a squat and sit down in our circle of friends with me, your host Rob, and my co-hosts Braxton and Hilo, and we're all holding our hands up.
I don't know. You started it. I felt compelled.
We're all just holding our hands up, waiting, and trying to see what you're gonna do. So, hands are going back down. Please make yourself comfortable, because this is gonna be a moderately long one. Maybe we'll see.
So, who got the Google email that we got hacked? Was it just me?
You know, when you said Google Plus, like, that was so far removed from my head that I completely forgot what Google Plus was, and then I had to like force myself to remember that I actually had a Google Plus account.
Yeah. So apparently, when Google Plus died in 2019, it was attributed to 2 software bugs that just leaked everybody's information out. So after that happened, obviously it shut down, and now a class action lawsuit has been made. And if you submit a claim, you can get anywhere between $12 to $5. 12 being the highest, and 5 being if everybody files for this claim.
Damn, this man knows his numbers.
This is a little ridiculous. It's like, oh, y'all just leaked our information because of a bug,
and it's only worth your information's only worth $12.
I mean, to be fair, I had to get one because I already had a YouTube account for posting music. So if they think my music is worth $12, that's actually an improvement because I'm not making any money right now. So I might as well jump in.
Hey, Google Plus could be our first sponsor.
Actually,
I don't want a leaky sponsor.
It's $36, man. Isn't that like a year subscription for SoundCloud?
That is true.
No, that won't even. Wait, how much did you say?
36. If we get the max, it's either 36 or 15 with our combined forces.
That's like 2 months.
2 months. Sponsored for 2 months. Wow.
Hey, back when YouTube was cool, because they don't do this anymore because they're trying to really consolidate their partnership. But back when YouTube was cool and people could get partnered just for having a semi-large audience, I used to get paid by YouTube. It was like they would rack up. Well, I don't know how monetization works on YouTube anymore, but they used to rack up all the AdSense money that you got, and then once you crossed $100 of AdSense revenue, they would pay you. So back in high school, I was getting paid like $100 every, I don't know, 1.5 years or something like that, or every 2 years.
No way, dude!
I was just
really?
getting paid. But they changed monetization now, and I've passed the threshold on subscribers. You need to have at least 1,000 subscribers, but now your watch time has to hit like, oh god, I don't even know what the watch time limit is, but I'm not gonna hit that. Not unless I start pumping out content like a fucking monkey. But there's a certain amount of hours you have to get monthly of people watching your stuff. Once you pass 1,000 subscribers for you to get monetized again.
Damn, you got 1,000 subscribers? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, shout us out. What are you doing?
No, he did. Didn't you like?
Dude, YouTube was a different animal back in the day. Shit was so easy. I kind of feel bad for everyone who's starting YouTube channels now that aren't like the typical vlogger, YouTuber shit. Because like all the arts it's like you either have to be like the top of the top of the top, or you just have to get insanely lucky. Like back in the day, views and subscribers, like you were just handing that shit out like candy. Like I can't even possibly tell you how I possibly got 1,000 subscribers, especially when I don't even average, like my view counts don't even average that, which makes it kind of weird. But
I bet
that's just how YouTube is.
I bet you had a SpongeBob song, right?
Yes.
I bet that one got you some traction.
So all the old, and I can tell you how old that is too. And because again, it was a different time in YouTube. Like shit like that would instantaneously blow up. But today, stuff like that won't blow up like it used to. Let's see.
Dude, your Hey Arnold video has 256,000 views. Yeah. What the fuck?
And let me tell you when that came out.
9 years ago.
Exactly. It was that's got 300,000 views. The SpongeBob beat is almost at 100,000. It's just like, but look at my recent stuff. Like you can see back in 2012, it was like in the thousands and the thousands and the thousands. Then 2013 in the thousands. But then you get closer to, YouTube starts changing. Now we're in the hundreds. 2013, 2014, 2015, and now 2015, we're in the tens. So I've gone from, having hundreds of thousands to now like tens. And I haven't done anything different. In fact, I think my music has gotten better since then, but it's just the way the algorithm works now, because YouTube is trying to be TV. And if you're not constantly pumping out content, then the algorithm is not going to go towards, what you're putting out, which is, it's a shame, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't that just have to do with like saturation of market as well?
Well, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, because if say I put out a beat every, month, every, more or less. If I started putting out a beat every day for 365 days, I would probably get a lot more traffic than I am right now, just because YouTube would see my constant upload schedule and say, hey, this is somebody where we can get constant attention fed from the viewer and keep it going consistently and have them on the platform longer and have them watch other videos longer and eventually get them to watch more advertisements. So,
but then you dig deeper into that algorithm, and what was that? Maybe 3-4 years ago, and they're only like pumping out exposure for those channels that reach that like 10-minute mark on videos, right?
Yep, that's the other thing. So early YouTube, you guys, I don't know if you guys remembered old YouTube, with the stars, and you could reply to videos with videos, and that's where the whole reply girl situation started as well. But I mean, initially there were a lot of animators on YouTube, and then when it became financially relevant for YouTube, they started implementing the 10-minute longer, or actually you used to be able to upload as long as you fucking wanted, I think. And then they implemented the, if you're going to be an advertiser, if you're going to get a lot of retention, if your videos are past 10 minutes, you have a better retention rate than, most people who have like 1 minute, 2 minute things. And obviously animators, a second in animation probably costs you 2 hours of work or something like that. Mm-hmm. So there's no way guys like, and this is why guys like Egoraptor and stuff like that all transitioned into gaming content, because that makes them way more money than animating would ever do. So if I made a 10-minute long beat, that would be stupid. No one's going to listen to a fucking one song for 10 minutes.
Well, I'll have you know that my workout track has been Kokuten from Naruto, but it's an hour-long extended version of that, so...
Yeah, if I take
I'll leave that out there.
If I take every song I have right now and extend it for 10 minutes, that would be I'd probably lose subscribers because the people that subscribe to me don't want to listen to that. But it's also just like a slimy way to get better stats on your video.
I think you can like kind of reframe that and do mixes. I mean, a lot of music channels do that now, and I love extended mixes.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work.
You don't have to go and pick and choose stuff. It's all just spit out on your lap for you.
That's kind of that's what YouTube is trying to do. It's trying to make all the content there spittable, so that people don't have to really work that hard to consume it.
That AI is so bad, though.
Yeah, it's awful. It's definitely changed. I mean, that's why when you go onto YouTube and you're not like logged in, everything that is recommended to you was like, oh, hey, Jimmy Fallon's top 10 clips. Oh, hey, The Rock is doing yada yada yada. Oh, hey, it's Jake Paul and Logan Paul doing another vlog for another 30 hours.
Hey, it's Jake Paul doing softcore porn for children.
Is that why the FBI raided his place?
I think he was just like swatted. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it's just more trash content, but we're just going to net there because there's nothing more to discuss. So, Dr. Disrespect, after moving around from platform to platform, he's now back up and running on... Where?
YouTube. He launched, or I think right now his test stream is live. No one knows what the fuck happened with Twitch. Well, I guess we'll never know. But yeah, now tomorrow is gonna be his first day as a YouTube streamer. And I was actually on the test stream just because I was just jamming out to the music. I like the aesthetic of his music, and the production is immaculate. He's always been like, I don't watch Twitch literally at all, but if I were to watch Twitch, it would only be Dr. Disrespect, because I think he's just the product is a lot better than just some dude playing games. He's got a very good team behind him when it comes to like graphics, when it comes to music, when it comes to just like they ran, I think it was a couple months ago, they ran an ARG like game for the viewers to participate in, and it was just in transition screens and stuff like that, and people were like in the Reddits and stuff and like playing along, like, something of that magnitude for a guy like him. I mean, I couldn't even imagine how to even do that. So props on him for getting back in the game. I was looking through in the YouTube, people were already subscribing, so he should be fine from a monetary perspective and from an audience perspective. So should be interesting to see how the YouTube transition goes for him.
That's cool. I didn't know that he had such a high production. I don't know how to end that. He has high production.
High production quality.
There you go. Does he legit have like a team behind the camera?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. It's
he's got
so it's basically like the next level of. Yeah, I know Tyler 1. He did a lot of stuff like that where it was more than just gaming.
Yeah, I don't know how big his team is, because obviously the shtick of Dr. Disrespect is that it's just him and his producer Alex, just two people. But I know he has like either 2 or 3 artists, a couple of editors, and when he did his speech for the Twitch Streamer of the Year, like, he was shouting out a lot of people. So he's got a team behind him, and there's no way he wouldn't be able to have a team behind him. I mean, if he's doing deals and like playing in shows with like NBA stars and like being able to drive like an Aventador Lamborghini through California and stuff like that. Like, there's no way you can get away with that without having a team behind you to negotiate all that.
Excellent point. So we just need to find a good team.
You guys are the only team I need.
I can't get you an Aventador.
Well, I mean, you're closer to Dr. Disrespect than any of us.
I will take you through California on my collapsible wagon that I used to bring groceries from my car to my apartment. That's the best I can do. It's a great wagon. It's got cup holders. It's got a little table that folds in and out.
All right, yeah. You won me over with the cup holders, so
cool. Glad to know I could keep you guys around a little longer.
Yeah, if you didn't have the cup holders, it was over.
Oh, good thing for cup holders. All right, moving on into patch notes. Okay, Braxton, you've been playing Uncharted 1.
Actually, I beat 1. I'm on 2 now.
Oh shit, you're like legit playing the Uncharted series.
Oh yeah, because it was they gave out the trilogy for COVID for free.
Oh no, is that over?
Oh, that's been over. That was like a month ago.
Oh no. I got 4.
Well, see, they didn't give out 4, which is where if I enjoy, like, I don't know how far I am in 2, but if I'm done with that and then I play 3 and I really like it, I will want to play 4.
4 was given out for free last month, I think. So if you get a subscription, you might be able to go into the backlog of like PS Plus free games and get it that way. But I know it's against your whole
I don't know. It
MO
depends.
Of avoiding giving money to Sony.
It'll depend. That's going to be a huge if. But yeah, Uncharted is man.
Does it hold up?
Well, okay, we'll split it because I am enjoying Uncharted 2 a lot more than I enjoyed Uncharted 1. Uncharted 1 is not a bad game at all. It's actually, I like the characters. The story's fun. It's like a little, B action movie. It's got all the one-liners. It's actually pretty funny. And I enjoyed that aspect of it. But man, dude, I hate the gameplay of Uncharted 1. You only get 2 guns. You can only hold 2 guns. And I hate that. You can only hold 2 guns at a time. A sidearm and a large arm. I don't know what it's called, like a rifle. You run out of ammo like it's nobody's business. So you're always stuck in a situation where it's like, oh, my pistol has no ammo, but I have a lot of AK-47, which is great, but there's a shotgun on the ground. And I'd love to pick up this shotgun and get rid of my pistol, but I can't, because if I pick up this pistol, I'm going to drop my AK-47, and my AK-47 has all the bullets. So what the fuck am I going to do here? And there's a bunch of people attacking me. I hate that. I hate resource management like that. And 2 does it too, but it's a lot more generous with ammo, so I don't really feel it as much, kinda. And the one thing I hate about 1 that they fix in 2 is that enemies in most places don't exist until you step foot into an area, and then they all spawn in. You can't do any stealth. You can't take people out. Like, you just have to get forced into every firefight along the way. And I hate that. So that's kind of my big gripe with Uncharted 1. Uncharted 2 is good because I guess they have the processing power now to generate enemies in front of you, and you can sneak around and actually be stealthy and take people out without having to get into this big, firefight. But the gun issue is still the same. You can only hold 2 guns, and I hate that. So hopefully, when we get to 3 and 4, maybe they fix it. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But that was kind of my biggest gripe with the game.
4 is a lot smoother, but so I got into like maybe chapter 13, and then I had to give my game back to Blockbuster. And when I say Blockbuster, I mean my brother. So I didn't get to finish it. I thought it would have the save file in the cloud, but it's not. So I have to start out from the beginning, and I tried doing that, and I was just like, I don't want to drive around this fucking boat. This is stupid. So I'm saving that for a rainy day. But yeah, they definitely like expand into more choose your own adventure. Like, there's more decision making in 4. You do have the ability to use stealth mechanics, like hide in high grass and like take people out until you're at a more advantageous resource perspective, I guess, to take everyone out without getting like shot down from every angle. But there are definitely parts of that game where, if depending on the difficulty you pick, you're kind of just like fucked, because you're left in some parts where the enemy progression comes out when you're like at a high point, getting like a clue or treasure, right?
Yeah,
a physical high point. So you're seeing all the enemies come at you like from 360 degrees, and then at that point it's just shooting gallery. You know, just more find cover, take them all out, move up slowly.
Yeah, which is weird because a game based around shooting, Uncharted 1, I think shooting is the weakest part of the game, which is kind of most of the gameplay. So it's like, why am I doing this? You could have just cut all this out and it would have been a better game. Honestly, I would rather watch Uncharted 1 as a movie because it's just better.
That's
that
what
way.
I hear everyone say.
Yeah, Uncharted 1 is just better as a movie. Like, there's no point into the gameplay at that point. It's just let me watch it, and then we can get to 2. Like, 2, at least I can interact in some way. But like 1 would have just been better as a movie.
You heard Braxton. Go visit Uncharted 1 through a Let's Play, through preferably Dr. Disrespect. Don't know if that exists, but
it does
go check
not
it
exist.
out.
But you know, I'm sure you could deep fake it.
And then play the rest. I have to go flip some meat really quick, so let's skip over mine and let's dive back into this new game you've been playing called Persona.
Well, I promised that I would confirm whether or not there were gods in Persona 4, and I was wrong. There were gods. There wasn't just one god. There was 4 gods. You fight 4 gods in Persona 4 Golden.
Dang.
So I couldn't have been more wrong about just fighting a singular man than I ever would have been. But yeah, Persona 4 is a good game. Except for one area of the game, and it's an optional dungeon, I guess, quote unquote optional. But when you go into this dungeon, you lose all of your weapons and your items, and you have to fight for items and weapons, and it's really whack, and I hate it.
But do your items come back after this?
Yeah, when you enter, you lose everything, but when you exit, you get everything back. So it's like, I went through the work of getting like really good gear for my characters, and you go in, and it's like, oh, go fuck yourself. And I'm like, all right, thank you, game. I love you. I appreciate this. I mean, the boss wasn't that hard, so luckily it wasn't a huge pain in the ass, but it's just like, you get in there, and it's like, ugh, come on. And like, there's some mini bosses in the middle where it's like, they have so much health, and you have so limited resources. It's like, why? Why would you do this to me? This ruins the game. And then when you're done with that dungeon, like, you get into another dungeon, and it's like way better because you have all your stuff back. So it almost makes you like forget, or it makes you more appreciative of what you have because you couldn't use it before.
That's cool. I mean, you know, just like testing your skill level.
guess.
At that point.
Is it really even skill? I mean, at that point, you're just fishing for items. Like, I don't know. That wasn't really fun for me. But everything else was fun.
Change of pace. It's like, hey, stop playing for a second. Like, let this part piss you off. And you just put it down for a second. And then you're like, oh, thank God.
But yeah, luckily that isn't the last dungeon in the game. So yeah, I think when you hit that point, you're killing your second god. Wait, let me check. 1, 2. No, at that point you're killing your third god, and then you go into the fourth god's dungeon, and then you kill the fourth god. So there's one man and 4 gods. So it's no longer JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. It is now JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. Actually, no, it's like Part 2. You get the 3 pillar men, really, if you think about it that way. So,
does the 6th god make an appearance?
There is no 6th god. Honestly, was he even rapping when this game came out?
Somewhere. Under Grassi.
But yeah, if I had to give it a grade, I would give it I don't know, like a 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10. It's a good game. I really enjoyed it. And even the shitty dungeon didn't dissuade me of how much I enjoyed this game.
So how would you rank all the Personas now that you've played them?
Persona 5 is 10 out of 10. Persona 5 Royale is an 11 out of 10. That's easy. Persona 4, 9 out of 10. Persona 3, like a 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Damn, so the game's just got better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to play Persona 1 or 2 because it's just going to get older and older, and the gameplay mechanics are just going to get worse. So, and I can't do that to myself, so I'm not going to do that. But they are remaking Shin Megami Tensei 3, and I did download Digital Devil Saga on my emulator, so I'll get to those eventually. But I needed an RPG break. So that's why I played Uncharted instead. And I'm sure Jimmy is fucking pissing his pants in excitement for me to play those games because he fucking loves Shin Megami Tensei. So.
Oh yeah, that boy loves his Megamis and his Tenseis. I'm excited for those just because it sounds like they're more gameplay driven than they are story driven, and not taking away from anything from like the Persona series, but the gameplay for Persona 5 towards the end was just like kind of dragging for me until that last dungeon, at least. And by last dungeon, I mean like the last boss of the last dungeon.
Yeah, but have you not pillaged Persona 5 Royale from Jimmy's hands?
No, not yet. I mean, there's just like way too many other games right now that I have that I don't want to make the commitment of jumping into like a 120-hour game while I still have a lot of other stuff out there. Disco Elysium I have hit like a wall with because I just feel like I've done everything that I could at that time, so now it's just about like making that clock tick away until the next big clue shows up. But I've pretty much explored the world and I'm on like day 3 and there's not many other like clues to uncover, so I feel like I just have to read books until that stuff happens.
Well, nothing just happens. Where are you at in Elysium? Like, what was the last thing you did?
I turned the church into a rave.
Wait, so I think that means you might be farther than I am then. You
didn't finish it?
No, I got the giant fucking jaws of life from the woman to unlock the thing.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, so we've just gone on completely divergent paths then.
I guess so.
Because the scientist would have let me turn it into a rave, but she wanted something from me, so I had to.
Oh, Yeah, I did that. Okay, yeah. The Jaws of Life is like it's like the advanced pry bar or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. So like I have the pry bar. I just need to go back to the fridge and bust it open and then let her do it.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff right now, like the white checkmark events, I've pretty much done all the ones I can like do with a 90% pass rate. And then I've taken my chances with everything else and failed miserably and hurt my morale and my ego. So I'm just kind of left like trying to grind away at boosting those stats, and it's just gotten a little dry right now. I might revisit it later, but
did you did you avoid sitting on that chair like I told you to?
What chair was that?
When you were meeting with the fat dude.
Oh, fuck. No, I didn't. And like that was a really good part though. Yeah.
I tried to warn you.
What was it? It was like, you feel the hard chair penetrate the boniness of your ass. -1 morale. It was pretty good. I like that part. That scene still has done the most damage to me out of anything in that game.
Oh, yeah. I think that it takes, 2 health and 1 morale or something like that? Or like 1 health and 2 morale?
Because I was just not prepared.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I've been more cautious about it, but yeah, that's where I am with that, and it'll probably stay that way for a little while now. Because I was gifted Grand Theft Auto 5, and I have a very little background in like the Grand Theft Auto series.
Wait, is this your first time playing Grand Theft Auto? Period?
I've played a little bit of San Andreas. I don't know the storyline at all for that. And then, I went over to my friend's house when I was in 3rd grade, and he had like Liberty City because his parents didn't care. He was white. And,
That's so funny.
You just did like the free play stuff, rack up your stars and whatnot. And then, high school finally comes around, and I wasn't old enough to buy games yet, but I took my grandpa to GameStop, and he got me Grand Theft Auto 4 after telling him, like, I'm like old enough to play that. I get it, whatever. And he's like, yeah, okay. Here's my ID. I took that home, and I was like, holy shit, driving is the hardest fucking thing to do in this game. And a lot of the missions in that storyline are driving based. And it's some of them are just fucking impossible. And maybe that's just because I had like a smooth teenage brain, but I couldn't do it. So I actually returned that, and I think I got I forgot what I got with that. I might have traded that in for like Gears of War 2 or something. I don't know. So I never finished the Grand Theft Auto. But I get the whole gist of it. I was always more of a Saints Row kind of guy because
fair enough.
Those games are so ridiculous, and like they lean into that ridiculousness. And I always thought like just how far they go with like satire and parody was pretty good in that. But I gotta say, I'm maybe like 5 hours into 5 right now, and it's excellent all around. There's like RPG mechanics in this, and I like the whole like character switch system mechanic in that. The driving is like punishing, but it's still like achievable if you're careful enough and whatnot. And that part always kind of like, it was just the biggest nuisance to me. The shooting is still ass. Like Rockstar shooting is. I don't know if that's a design, like intentional design to like make it hard to aim around and stuff, or maybe I've just fully ascended into the PC master race now and I just can't fucking aim with the controller anymore. But yeah, that's always difficult.
Wait,
so I play with partial aim.
It's got auto lock. How much easier could it be?
Yeah, it has auto lock. It has free aim mode, and then there's like a good in between. So I did the in between because I didn't want to be like a complete little bitch. Nope. I don't want to be a little bitch.
I mean,
that makes the game like,
if you're gonna complain about it and not use it, I mean, it's right there.
I did it for Red Dead, and
I could see Red Dead being a little easier because like you have to deal with like machine guns and assault rifles shooting at you, and like 20 people shooting at you at once.
Wait, is like the traditional way to play Grand Theft Auto with auto aim?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't remember. Actually, yeah, because there's lock on the play. I haven't played the PlayStation version of San Andreas in a long time, but you can lock on. I know you can lock on. And on PC, when I lock on, then it just like lets me shoot whoever. So yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's only the drive-by shootings where you have to.
Yeah, drive-by shootings you actually have to aim. There's no lock on for that. And that's
holy shit, dude! The missions where I have to like shoot stuff while I'm driving, I feel like I'm about to have a stroke. There's just too many things to factor in.
Because of your stroke, do you use the e-brake?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But like, accelerating is R2, shooting is R1. I'm used to only using one finger for the shoulder buttons. I've done it in the past where I've used two, but like I'm not a pro gamer. Let's not dance around or anything. And then you have to aim with L1. So it's like my brain's at full capacity already.
Wait, come on now.
Did you get to the heist yet? Where are you?
I just did the heist last night, the first heist.
Nice.
That was awesome. I love it so far. Like,
were you struggling during that part?
Game. No.
The motorcycle and having to shoot.
Wait,
which car did you use?
Hold on a minute, Rob. Hold on. How are you going to complain about pressing R1, R2, and L1 all at the same time when you used to consistently whoop my ass in SSX?
Ooh.
Wait, really?
Yes. Remember they had online leaderboards and you were always on top?
Oh, dude, I put a lot of time into SSX.
The only reason I got all the achievements in SSX is because of the times we would go back and forth on some of the mountains because you would always be on top and I'd always have to try and catch up and beat you at something.
Holy shit, I forgot that. Like, I didn't even know that. Dude, honestly, I'm not trying to like clown you or anything. I was just playing to like beat my own record. I wasn't trying to beat you at all.
No.
But you know what? I do remember some parts. You murdered the racing times on those tracks. And like racing was always the hardest part for me. But for the point hoarding and stuff like that, I would get tricky like 20 seconds in, and then at that point it's just, for me, I thought of it like Guitar Hero and just trying to continuously get the line down. I don't know. It's weird. I have like a Guitar Hero autistic brain. That's
I just remember like when I was done with the story mode of SSX and I was like, oh, let me play the online mode. That should be fun. And all I see are a sea of Rob's users names across all the mountains, across the entire globe. Everywhere I looked, Antarctica, there's White Rice Man. America, yep, there he is again. Canada, oh, yep, it's Rob again. Asia, oh, surprise, surprise, there's another gold medal.
Hey, what do you mean surprise, surprise, motherfucker?
Because it's Asia.
Dude, I love that game. I put like a surprising amount of hours in that game. Some of my freshman year grades were probably affected.
Oh shoot, that was at our place. Did you? I mean, you probably played it at your place too, but that was like a big game at our junior.
I know Brown was pretty decent at it.
I found it like years later in a 2K box, cause like I remember Brown couldn't find it for the longest time, and it was just like hidden in a 2K12 box or something like that.
Dude, that was such a good game. Like, a quarter of me playing that was just to pretty much listen to the soundtrack because it was so good.
It was awesome.
The soundtrack was
my favorite track was the Deadly Descent's Darkness one. That shit was fucking fuego. Like I used to just play that Deadly Descent just because. I mean, I was like, wow, this is a really good song.
You talking about the Everest one where like you can fall off? It's basically like the Rainbow Road of SSX.
No. I'm talking about the one where you dive into a helicopter and you go into a cave and you can't see shit.
Oh, yeah, you only have flares to light the path, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was infuriating.
I think
the survival ones were so tough.
I think the tree one, and not the regular tree one, but like the online tree one, where there's just debris everywhere. I thought that shit was infuriating. That and you're too cold. The one where you're not getting enough air.
Oh, I hated that.
That one sucked.
Good times though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, back to GTA. It's been really fun so far. I like the RPG mechanics. Don't know how to boost my stats. Is the only way to boost your stats like through playing the game, or can I go into a menu and like attribute points to something?
if you want to be a better swimmer, you better get your ass in that ocean.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm about to break it. I'm about to break another controller just tapping X the whole time.
Yes.
Oh, do you know what's kind of like so most of my experience with this game, I know it's like 7 years old, and that's where a lot of it lies, is our other friend Ray. He used to play it a lot, and it was on PS3. There's no touchpad on PS3. So like, how did you change radio stations in the car? Because for me, those games are very much about the music, and if I have to just like swipe up on the touchpad every time, like, it's just annoying, man.
Nope, D-pad.
I wish I could just have it going the whole time. But the soundtrack to that game is like a time machine back into the early 2010s, and I love it. It's
dude, Fly Low Radio.
I mean,
yeah, that's all I listen to.
Yes.
Well, that's why I love playing. Like when I go back in San Andreas and I hit up the classics, and it's just like, oh, well, even like it doesn't matter what station I go to in San Andreas. It's always like, oh yeah, I remember that song, or like, oh yeah, this was a really good song.
Wait, Rob, do you ever listen to the Patriot like radio?
Oh yeah,
Does it talk?
Yeah, there's a talk show that you should definitely listen to randomly when you're just like driving throughout, because like it gets pretty funny. Like I think he's like this really far right like talk show guy.
It's supposed to be what's his name? The lizard man dude.
Maybe.
I just looked up the
Alex
stations.
Jones. It's supposed to be like Alex Jones, right?
So
kind of, but not as like intense. You know, Alex Jones is like a lot.
Very sensationalist.
He's screaming.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that a listen, because I love the commercials in Grand Theft Auto. They're so funny.
They'll even say some of your missions on the radio sometimes. I think
it's called Blaine County Talk Radio.
Yeah, Blaine County. Okay. Because they're just like in the boonies. I think they talk about aliens and stuff, because there is like an alien. There's an alien like side mission.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah,
I just did that one where like you go up to the table of the dude who's like legalizing weed, and then you hit the joint, and then you have to go fight like a bunch of aliens with a Gatling gun because you're high as fuck. That was pretty interesting.
Was that what's his name?
Michael's?
That was Michael?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
But I think I heard another. I only have Michael and Franklin so far. I really like Franklin because it feels like all his storylines, I'm just hanging out with a bunch of gangsters, and it's not scary.
You're telling me marriage and commitment with kids is more scary than running the block? Because I'd agree.
I would too, but in this case, it's like my little escape. It's like, oh, I'm a gangster right now. What's up, homies?
Rob, I can't tell you how white you just sounded right there.
I was like, what the hell?
I was trying to push as much of that as I could into
That's so funny.
Caucasity.
But just like the polar opposite worlds, like Michael's in police FBI protection.
Is that what that is? Okay, yeah, no, don't tell me anything else. But I really don't like. I haven't had any dislikes with this game whatsoever, because Michael's storyline is fucking awesome. It's like this man is dealing with existentialism, even though he has like everything that you could want in life. He lives in like Beverly Hills or whatever, and he's just having like a breakdown because he realizes he's kind of like a wild lion that's been forced to be domesticated in the zoo, basically. And then those urges are coming back out. When you had to pull that deck with the truck, I was like, oh, this shit's getting real. Like, let's go. And then you basically fuck with El Chapo or whatever, and that's where I am right now.
Oh my god!
And that's why, like, that's what set everything in motion for the heist that I just did. But oh man, that's a fun game so far.
The storyline is really great.
I mean, if there's one thing Rockstar always does well, it's story. But then when they hit multiplayer, they immediately just shit the bed, and I don't know why that is.
And I was just about to get into that, because the whole reason my brother gifted me this was so I could play with him on multiplayer, and like maybe there's just like a disparity in where I am being like level 1 in that, and where he is, where he like summoned this car that looks like the Speed Racer car, but it's got like this hentai Princess Bubblegum chick on it. I'm not hyperbolizing that at all.
No, that's like, probably in the game,
yeah. Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on right now. Like this, he's able to like bring like luxury jets and helicopters, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna like drink all the champagne in here. I don't know. It takes away like a lot of that, a lot of like the journey of getting to that point. But yeah, online's okay so far. I don't know. I guess I haven't played too much of it, but the story is like it's just so good right now. All the voice acting is phenomenal.
Yes.
Jamal's an asshole, and then I like Franklin's point of view. Like you just
but Jamal's the fucking funniest dude in the fucking game.
Dude, he's hilarious. He's
so
hilarious, funny. But he's so fucking smooth brained. It's ridiculous. I love the philosophy of Franklin though, where his scope extends past like the gangster life. Like it was only supposed to be a stepping stone until he can like hit it big, and that's where his apprenticeship comes in with everything. But then, you know, you meet up with Tanya a couple times, and he's like, okay, I still remember where I'm at. I'll help you out since like JB's smoking crack right now, and I'll go tow some trucks. And I like those missions a lot.
Even though you hate the driving, especially driving with a car behind, how many times did the car fall off the tow, or did it not fall off?
Okay, so I'll tell you about it. Oh, I've never had a problem with the tow truck. I think I found my new calling in life. That's another story. There was a mission for it's a heist setup mission where you have to go get the exterminator truck. So the first time I went through, I just like pulled up, whatever. And the guy was like, excuse me, you can't park in front of there. We need to get out. And I was like, okay. So I pulled up a little bit, and then went in the garage, like, you can't be in there. You can't be in there. And then I was like, yeah, whatever, bitch. I just took the exterminator van, and I drove away. And then the cops started coming after me. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. I'm just gonna have to like go hide or whatever. But the exterminator facility is like so far out in the boonies that the only way to get there is the highway. So, and you're driving a van that like tops out at maybe, I don't know, 80 miles per hour. So they're catching you no matter what and just like shooting you down and shit. So I failed that mission. I went at it a second time, and I the first time I went through, I noticed there was like a door in the back that was open. So, oh shit, 1 second.
Smells good.
I don't want to say too much because then he won't cut it out.
No, there's just gonna be a moment where he just completely stops talking.
Okay, so where was I? I failed mission, but when I did the first time, I saw there was a back door that was open. So I go redo it, and I try going about it a different way. So I drive the car around to the back of the dock, and I go in, sneak in. There's a guy working on one of the trucks, 1 out of 3 in the facility. Knock him out. And like, oh, perfect. Like, didn't set off any alarms, whatever. Get in the car and drive off. I got too excited. I drove it off the dock. Oh my God. I had to get out of the van, swim back to shore, and then I go and get another car. I thought it was going to be easier. But like, you have to break the window, so it made all this noise. And I'm just like actively just clenching as hard as I can, and I was able to get the car out of there, set off no alarms, and bring the car back to the drop-off point. And that made me realize that like there's no linearity to the missions. You can solve them however which way you want to, and like that's where I was like, okay, there's something here, and I'm buying into it. Like, take all my money right now. I'm invested.
I'm excited for you to go through the rest and then like meet the other character. Yeah. You know who the other character is, though, right?
Trevor?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably the best voice actor, I think, out of all of them.
I just remember his name in like clips being flooded all over Reddit when this came out.
And there's a good reason for that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's fucked up. That's the extent of it. He's messed up. You go through a lot of crazy missions with Trevor.
I'm just excited to find out how he gets incorporated back into the storyline, because right now, I've met Lester a couple times. Oh my god, that Facebook mission is fucked up. I met up with Lester and like they're talking about someone else, and and Michael's like, oh whatever, like let's just stop talking about him. I don't give a fuck anymore. And I assume that's Trevor. So I'm really excited to see how he's incorporated back into the storyline. But yeah, that's my take so far with GTA.
Yeah, because the shooting in GTA has always been like pretty easy because of the lock, but the storylines are always cool. The online multiplayer was cool if you had like a crew, because like you know how you did the heist mission. There's heist things you can do online too. I don't know if that's what your brother wanted to do with you.
No, that's exactly what we did, but we skipped right ahead to like the heist conclusion mission or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And like instead of like a small, I don't know, like a jewelry store thing, I had to drive a helicopter to a beach and then shoot out like 50 helicopters in the sky, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, it felt like Saints Row to me. And I always like GTA because it was like somewhat believable.
Oh, it's ridiculous. GTA 5. I heard they're making another one, and it's gonna be Liberty City.
I doubt it. It's GTA 5 for PlayStation 5.
I was
That's the new one.
They're not making another GTA. They're just making GTA 5 for play. GTA 5 has now transcended 3 console generations. 3. That's stupid.
And it's gunning for Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like the Resident Evil and Skyrim of GTA games at this point. And I had the Xbox 360 version. Online was a buggy piece of crap.
Yeah,
that sucked.
It wasn't until this one. It's better on the newer consoles.
Well, I ain't getting it. Yeah, I don't care if they release it for the fucking PlayStation 10. I'm not gonna get that fucking game.
I had some great stories of just like running away from fighter jets on a motorcycle and just like missiles just going, and then eventually the missiles hit me. While being chased by somebody online.
I have great experiences of being in my garage and having a bunch of fucking airport terminal shit glitched into my garage because everyone was fucking hacking the lobby and putting all that shit in there.
Oh, dang.
Online was never fun. It sucked. I hated it.
I had some fun. Like, there are some custom games. Like, there was a race in the sky or something like that. Someone made like a road, just like a little course that you could fall off of it. And then when you fall off, you just failed. And then everyone else just finished the race. It was cool.
Yeah. I'm honestly just surprised how well this game holds up right now, because I used to watch all the Funhouse, like different GTA Let's Plays or whatever, and even then it was like, oh, this is dated, man. Like, it feels a lot older than a lot of the other games that have come out during that time. But now that I got my hands on it, I'm eating my words, because it's pretty decent so far. I got a hardwire right now because my internet speed's 1 megabit per second. I don't know why the fuck that's happening. But let's get into... I was gonna say patch notes. Let's get into Cine Matthew.
Cine Matthew. So I'll just go ahead and start with Palm Springs. Did you guys hear about Palm Springs? It's on Hulu.
Nope.
It's The Lonely Island. They produced it. So essentially, Andy Samberg is this guy that's just caught in a time loop, kind of Groundhog Day-esque. I don't know why there's like a bunch of movies coming out where they have this time loop now, but this one wasn't that bad. It has Andy Samberg. Who's the girl again?
I haven't watched SNL in decades. I have no idea.
No, it wasn't an SNL girl.
Uh-huh.
The girl is Kristen Melody.
Why is that
and
name
then
so familiar?
J.K. Simmons is in it as well. And this isn't really any spoilers, but J.K. Simmons' character, he was also pulled into the time loop with Andy Samberg. And, like, he's so pissed at him that, like, eventually he'll come back and just, like, murder Andy Samberg brutally. So for time loop movies go, it's just like your typical. A lot of funny moments in it. So I definitely think it's worth a watch because Andy Samberg he does pretty well, and I like J.K. Simmons as well. So that's all I'll say on that. Palm Springs. It's on Hulu. But then let's go ahead and move on to The Last Dance, Braxton. Did you finish it yet? Or
yes, I did. I did finish it.
So what are your thoughts on Michael?
My thoughts actually don't really have a lot to do with Michael. The biggest takeaway I got out of The Last Dance was that I actually felt bad, and not just for him. I felt bad for like every like major athlete who like goes in and like loves their sport, and all they want to do is play it, but they just get they have to do all this media shit and have to deal with all this fucking attention. It's like, God, that sounds like hell, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, man. I can't imagine. Like, imagine if I liked, I don't know. Imagine, like, let's take it back to Pokemon cards where we were at the beginning. I can't imagine being like the biggest Pokemon fan or something like that, and like being a collector and loving what I do, and then all of a sudden I can't walk out of my house and get groceries without it being like a fucking like level 5 pandemic event. Like, that would just be like, that's just unimaginable to me. And so the fact that all these guys literally have to do that every day of their lives, and that they can't be actual human beings at all, is kind of terrifying to me. I know that's the nature of the business, but it's like, I mean, that just kind of freaks me out.
I think it's definitely elevated though, like, to a different level if you're Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, there's fame, and then there's like, you can't
like demigodhood.
Yeah, I mean, there's fame, and then there's women like wanting you to give birth to their children. Fame, like on the street, just for no reason.
No reason whatsoever.
Yeah, no reason. And then the second big takeaway I got out of that was sports media really has not changed at all in the past like fucking 30 years. It's all the same bullshit that no one gives a fuck about.
I think it's like the same writers for the most part. I mean, like the big sports writers, I feel like they're the same people.
It's like, doesn't matter how big you are. You know what? The scene that really got me was like when he was just going up to a podium and everyone was like trying to waffle about whether or not he was coming back for another year, and like the mics were like millimeters away from his face. Like he couldn't even breathe without like a mic picking it up. And I was just like, man, that's annoying. I mean, that just looks annoying, and I'm not even there, but that just looks annoying. Maybe I just don't.
Michael Jordan, man.
Exactly. Maybe I just don't like media in general, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that in the sense that like everyone else usually means it, like, oh, I hate the media. I mean, the media at the end of the day is just trying to sell a product, and people are buying, which is why they do it. So, you should really hate society, because society just gives birth to that media. So what I really mean to say is I hate society. Let's fucking burn it to the ground.
We're trying.
I feel like that's been the theme of the past couple months.
I hate people. Why do you think I don't go outside? That's exactly why.
Because there's too many good things to do inside. I feel like my biggest takeaway from The Last Dance was how much Scottie Pippen was treated like shit. Like, they just took advantage of that.
Oh, 100%.
Well, yes, but then he became so petty at like the worst times. Like he didn't time his pettiness out correctly.
This is interesting hearing your perspective, because like I'm pretty much diehard like Dynasty Bull. I'm diehard Bulls, more so from the Dynasty, and to the point where it's detrimental, where it's like, oh, they could do no wrong. So hearing it from an outside perspective is like refreshing. And I thought they just did. Like, I thought the pettiness was justified.
Don't get me wrong. The pettiness was justified. But, like, that time where he just didn't want to go in the game and they're, like, on the road already to the chip, it's like, I mean,
that was so fucked up.
Yeah.
That was actually, like, I was so hurt. Like, I felt betrayed by Scottie, and I've never played on the Chicago Bulls team in my life.
That was so weird, because, like, they won, but then, like, Scottie is upset.
Yeah, it was upset. Like they won, and it was the worst win of their entire career. It was basically a loss. That win was a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand. Like, yes, you're getting shafted. Him taking off, like, I think that's cool. Like, if he wanted to take off for the season, to tell him to shove it, cool. But like, you're already there. Like the cup is in your the trophy is in your grasp, and you don't want to play, and it's just like, that's a little.
You don't, yeah.
That's
you
a little
don't
dicey.
quit on your team, and he just flat out quit on them.
Yeah.
Now I don't know, that hurt, man.
Now, what really was fascinating was was the worm, obviously, but just seeing he's like a. He's like a... I don't even know how to describe it. Dennis Rodman is like if you...
An enigma?
Well, he's not even like a human anymore. Like, he's just like a creature that you let loose for a little bit, and then you're like, all right, that's enough. Get back over here. And he's like, okay, yeah, thanks for letting me out. He's like a really excited... It's like an excitable dog. It's like he won't shut up, and then you let him out. He goes pee. You clean up his poop for a little bit, and then he comes back in and he's fine. And then you don't have to worry about him anymore.
He gets the job done.
I think he's a savant, honestly. Because when he started talking about ball rotation for rebounding, I realized at that moment that I could never be a big man on any team. And it wasn't just my height that dictated that, but it was just my mentality of, like, if he knows how many rotations a certain player has from a ball, and what direction it's going to go just from looking at it. I mean, that's savant shit. That's like, you can't teach that. That's just you either have it or you don't.
Yeah, he was super studious, but like everyone saw the other parts, the partying parts. But,
I mean, what's funny about that is, like, if they didn't let him party, he wouldn't be good. It's like his battery. Like, he just needed a recharge and then back on the court.
Yeah, because before the Bulls, he was, like, struggling. He was almost turning into I mean, he is a journeyman. But, the Bulls were able to, like, rein him in. Just, like,
kind of.
Do your thing.
Not really.
Do your thing.
I wouldn't say rein him in as much as, like, controlled destruction.
They found a puzzle piece they needed. And because of the respect that like Scottie and Michael garnered with him from past play, that's what I feel kind of helped him mesh in more.
I mean,
if you brought him, like, just check out the Spurs. He didn't really. What did he bring there? Like, you have a championship caliber. He had 2 rings already. He had 2 rings before Michael did.
Yeah,
and then
he beat Michael.
Brought that to the Spurs. Yeah, exactly.
Watching those Pistons games was, like, really fun.
Watching 80s basketball was like watching war.
Honestly, I don't know why, but as I was watching a lot of those games, I was getting fucking hyped. Like, I know they already happened, but I was just like, damn. Oh, you see that? Oh, fuck. Got him.
Basketball's not like that anymore. You can't even touch the person anymore.
No.
Like, you touch an elbow, 3-point play. But it's up at scoring now. It's a different league.
It's a different generation.
Yeah,
I can't
different.
really I don't want to be like an old head about it. I don't even really have the background to be an old head, but yeah, there was definitely something about like 90s and 80s basketball.
I think it's just the generation.
Grit.
Yeah.
And now it just feels commercial. Like everything else that's gotten big, right? It's like,
but like these guys are skilled. These guys are crazy skilled, doing crazy things. But it's not, the competition isn't as, doesn't really matter as much, I feel.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's just the over exposure to so much more about the players more than their gameplay, and I think that's what kind of drove the interest in Dennis Rodman too, because like his life was so public, and he didn't try to censor himself at all in that regard. But now it's just like everyone has an Instagram you go follow, and you'll get like pregame updates directly from the source of like, oh my god, Devin Booker is wearing the same fucking socks as me. Crazy.
Oh no.
Oh my god, LeBron's Louis Vuitton bag. Wow. I hope that really sparks some I don't know, morale with the team.
Dion Waiters is eating a candy. Is it a weed candy?
Okay. First of all, don't you badmouth Dion Waiters. How dare you?
I'm not.
I don't know. Did you pick him up in fantasy? No? Okay. Shut up.
We all take an edible and then freak out. It happens. That's why edibles, you gotta be careful.
I tried to ask my mom about like what Bulls Mania was like, but like she didn't care. So I kind of wish my dad was around so I could ask him what it was like, because he grew up a 76ers fan. So I wonder what like the whole Bulls Mania was like for him. And really just, I looking at the footage and seeing like a lot of those kids in the footage, like those people are like adults now. They probably like it's just crazy how much shit was going on, and we weren't even around for it. And it was like the heyday of like
Chicago
basketball, and
we were around.
Well, yeah,
for like the end of the dynasty, first dynasty, and beginning of the.
I don't remember it. Like I don't remember watching a single game. I don't remember the ball and running down court and dunking it, but that's the only thing. I don't even know if they won that game.
I mean, the only legacy I think we collectively know going back and forth, it's not Bulls Pistons. It would most likely be Lakers Celtics at that point, because that's when I remember being cognizant of basketball and like legacies and stuff like that with Kobe and all them.
Oh,
and
it hurts every time.
Yeah.
You know what hurts more though? The Rose era. That fucking hurts. You want to talk about legacies? I still think about 2015 when they should have called a technical foul on David Blatt in Game 4 of the second round against the Cavaliers. And if we fucking took that, I swear to God, like we would have been up 3-1. We would have been going to the ECF again, and
not having to go against LeBron in that finals, beating him, and then
that second round was the ECF.
It was.
Yeah.
LeBron lost that year though, bad, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the year Kyrie.
That was the year the Warriors were like, "Oh, hey, guess what? We're pretty fucking good, so notice us, senpai."
But that was pre-Durant, though.
Yeah.
That was That was awesome.
That was
the year before the 73-9 season.
Yeah.
When they lost.
Basketball's back. How weird is that?
I don't like it. I think all sports should be delayed.
I've tried to watch some of it, but like I can't. How do you get excited when someone throws down a monster dunk and you're looking at a wall of screens like that episode of Black Mirror, and there's like a 10-second delay of excitement?
God,
like that's weird. That's weird to me.
It is so weird, the crowd. I mean, I'll still watch it.
I watched one game and then I was like, Also, I don't have any money riding on it now, so I don't know if I care.
Sign up for FanDuel. Sign up for FanDuel, y'all.
DraftKings? Anybody? DraftKings?
All right, moving on.
Moving on to Umbrella Academy. Did you start the second season? Did you finish?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
Damn, it just came out. I'm close. What are your thoughts?
I don't know what it is. Like it's superhero stuff is always the media that me and Tin have. Like it's like the middle ground. You know the meme where it's the animated Arnold Schwarzenegger shaking. Wait, no, yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger shaking. Oh God, I forgot his name.
Well, it's not animated. It's
Apollo
real.
Creed.
Oh
no. But like they illustrate
Carl
it.
Weathers?
I'm talking about the meme. Yeah. Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger shaking hands, and they're like all roided out. It's like that, but in the middle is like superhero stuff, and we did it with season 1 too, where we just like kind of just binged the whole thing in a couple days.
What were your thoughts? I heard the ending was pretty insane, but it's kind of like the same story over again, right?
Essentially, like they have the kid number 5. He has another time travel incident where like he witnesses the end of the world again, and then they have to go and fix it. And like, yeah, it's kind of repetitive, but I like the whole philosophy of like, are we the ones causing the end of the world to occur when all 5 of us like congregate to a different time period? Mm-hmm. I like that aspect of it, and then them trying to figure that out. That's pretty cool. And then they tie more of the dad into this storyline, which I thought was awesome. I don't know. I know this isn't getting the best reviews, but I really enjoyed this season a lot, and I completely dislike time travel stuff to where it goes to like the 60s or the 50s because it's boring as fuck. Like, I don't care about those eras. The aesthetic is stupid.
You don't like nuclear bombs and milkshakes and racism
separately.
Wait, did you watch Umbrella Academy, Braxton?
No, I just know what 50s, 60s aesthetic means.
Season 2. Are you 5? What?
Anytime a TV show or a movie wants to hit that 50s or 60s aesthetic, you always hit the girls with the long skirt dresses with the fucking strap-on shoes, and they're walking into a diner where a nice little burger and milkshake is waiting for the dad who's wearing a nice fucking cap.
Braxton, please don't watch Umbrella Academy. You're just not gonna like it. You're just gonna get upset.
Holy shit!
With the checkerboard, and then he jumps into his car, which is that long fucking car that everyone had in the 60s, and then you just drive it down to your fucking nuclear family house. The what's it called? What's it called? It's not a I don't know. It's a
like a bunker.
No. It's a type of when you're driving into the suburbs and it's a circular area where all the houses are surrounded.
Cul-de-sac.
Yeah, cul-de-sac. He drives into his cul-de-sac, and there we go.
You're pretty much like 80% right about where they go with 87. That's my biggest gripe with this. It's just like the cliches that they incorporate into moving to the time period, and especially with, I feel like a lot of it, because they finished catching up to the comic, and a lot of it now is fresh material. And because of what's going on right now, I know they were probably like filming this way before any of like the current climate, but it just doesn't feel right watching like 60s black activism and the way they're treated in like our modern situation with it. It's just depressing, and that's fine. Like I'm all about like depressing media, but like this is all just like cliche to where all the white people are just like super blatantly racist, and it's Texas, so whatever, understandable. I can look past that aspect of it, but they don't do anything new with it. It's just like, hey, you're black and you're sitting in this diner. Look at this sign.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, it's the whites only sign. Like, I get it. It's a white diner.
The only milkshakes they sell at that diner are vanilla.
But like, it was interesting that it happened to Allison.
I didn't think so at all. I think Allison is the most whitewashed black character.
In the sense of her power, like where she can be like, oh, like, I want you to do this, and then I don't know. I thought there was like some cool parallels with that part.
But like, let's think about the writing. For a second.
I mean, like,
they basically shit on black people for like 2-3 episodes, and then she finally like unveils her power of ultimate suggestion or whatever for a payout of maybe like 2 minutes, and it's like you really put me through all that just to get to that conclusion, and it just felt so fucking on the nose. And I don't know, man. It felt like such an exploitation thing, like an emotionally exploitative part of the story that didn't really need to be there, but they just threw it in to be like, hey, look, we're woke too over in Netflix. I didn't enjoy that part at all.
It doesn't feel genuine for sure.
Yeah, they felt like they just threw it in there to be like, look, we address major topics in our superhero show too. By the way, this dude started a sex cult. Pretty crazy, huh?
Bro, if you had time travel, are you not going to go back in time and kill baby Hitler? Duh.
Did you watch the show? Me? Did you watch the show, Braxton?
Did they actually kill baby Hitler in the show?
No, they don't. Well, maybe.
No,
maybe.
But you're like hitting upon the same. You got the vibe down, dude. It's not like anything like.
Bro, if you don't kill baby Hitler,
they definitely talked about
Hitler.
They definitely talked about killing baby Hitler, which is so weird. Like, it's not even a part of the story, but they just brought it up once.
Bro, if you don't kill a slave master back in the day, doesn't that make you the real slave master? Okay. Fucking loser.
So, how many umbrellas out of 6 would you give it?
Out of 6, I would give it like 4. -2 for all that stupid fucking like on the nose racism shit. But when you go back to the superhero stuff and like try all the problem solving that they need to do, and the aesthetic of like the not all their powers, but like I love watching number 5 teleport in and out of shit. Yeah, and then there was like. A lot of it was good. I really enjoyed it, but it took it down so many notches because of the whole fucking like black activism arc. And it wasn't the fact that like they were standing up for themselves or anything like that. Like, I don't know how to not sound racist, which is a terrible thing to say. It just felt like they really forced that into the story. Like, it's just, I don't know, man.
Are you saying you hate the SJW agenda being spread and slathered across our beloved media?
I don't know anymore. It just felt so like forced wokeness, and I can't get over that. And everything else was like, I enjoyed it so much, but when you get to the Allison storyline, it just felt like poo poo. I don't know.
I wasn't
again
too sure.
I go back to the point of they make you like they give you all this like rage into falling into like the whole black experience of the 60s in Texas. It's everything you expect. It's all predictable, and like there's so much other black media out there that gives such a more realistic light on that experience, in my opinion. Like, I can't really say for myself that does it in a more believable experience. But this is just like, it's satire. It just feels completely satire, and like I guess you could chalk it up to it being a comic, like a superhero comic thing. But it just felt so forced and out of place, because like X-Men is about that. And it's never on the nose about it.
Yeah, they were just too blatant. Like you said, like they didn't need to show it again because we obviously know, and like it didn't really add to the story.
All the white people in those situations felt like caricatures. And like, I get there's people like that out there. They had that clip of that one guy in that town in Arkansas hold the Black Lives Matter sign up, and like everyone fucking drove up to him. Like,
oh yeah, I remember that.
And was just like, get out of my town. That's fucked up. And that's like, that's basically what this was. But this was more so scrubbed to be like a clean version of that. Mm-hmm. And I guess like I'm trying to work this through right now because I didn't want to think about this at all. But to me, it just felt like they should have just fucking leaned into that racism if they were gonna.
Oh, you're talking like
actually
Quentin Tarantino. What's it? Crazy Eights? I don't remember what that movie is.
The Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. Yeah, we're talking.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's on my list. And yeah, but like, so around the lines of like. Yeah, that whole Hateful Eight and like Django Unchained thing. They should have done that, but this felt like the Sunday newspaper comic version of racism, and it was so stupid. I don't know. I can't get over it. That's the most I'll talk about that. Sorry for like going on that long ass rant, but that was my biggest problem with it.
I mean, I could see like, well, the only undertone I could see from that is that like, since she has the ability to kind of like get what she wants, like, and the fact that she doesn't use it until that one part, like, I feel like that's what they were trying to say. Besides, like, the other stuff didn't feel genuine, but like, I see where they were trying to go. I see where they were trying to be like, look, she has the ability to stop all this hate, but then like forcing it. But like, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and like, I can even forgive that because you can't force that kind of stuff. You could like make it a metaphor of like, you can't just force equality. You need to come to that point organically, right? So that's fine. I get that.
Mm-hmm. But then like all the other stuff they were showing, it didn't really seem necessary.
It was so sensationalist.
Like, but like, you know, even like Naruto has filler. That was like filler.
Excellent analogy.
They had to be like, you know what, we have to show that this did happen. Like they are in that.
So that sounds like we're jumping.
Take that bookmark out. Here we go. Diving headfirst into Chapter Black.
All right, Matt. Where are you now?
In Shippuden, I am just went through some Kakashi filler after Obito was finally revealed.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which I called. I knew it. I friggin' knew it because like the eye, he only had one eye, and the other eye was blank. So I'm like, Obito gave that eye to Kakashi. And like, I was super excited, but I was just like, why did Obito just turn bad? So I had to watch all that filler, but
wait, what filler?
You know,
there's no Obito filler.
Technically, it's going back in time where Kakashi and his team and how it like ended up story. Like it did.
Hey, that's canon, right?
Well, I mean,
it
is canon, but
that is canon.
I don't know.
Okay, there's a difference between like filler and then retcon material, which Naruto is notorious of.
It was a flashback. I wouldn't say it was filler.
But it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it.
It was a good flashback.
I watched it.
But then like, in the way that I'm binging it, and then to all of a sudden just like, screech, because like things are going down.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
The 10 tails and 9 tails and 8 tails are all in the vicinity of each other. Things are exploding.
But like, how good was the Obito arc where he's a teenager like, and then
you're
he's
at the top of Mount Olympus and then you just have to jump off Mount Olympus real quick and stay on the ground with the commoners for a little bit and then climb right back up.
It's not even the ground. Like when you get to that point with Obito, it's like, okay, we're gonna take a quick trip to Hades right now and see what rock bottom really is like.
Yeah, and Obito, damn, like that whole team, I forgot what their name was, but they just, Kakashi, man, poor guy. That's all I got from that arc. He just had a hard life. And then obviously Naruto changed his life, like he changes everyone's life.
And that's the moral of the story.
Naruto is a beast. He got so strong, and now he's friends with the Nine Tails. Kurama, I love Kurama. That's my guy.
So now,
but yeah.
So are you done with the Kakashi flashbacks now, or?
Yep, and now we're going into the Madara and Harishima flashbacks.
Oh, that'll take a while.
Is that canon? Is that canon?
I don't remember if I watched them all or not.
I don't remember watching that, to be honest.
But there's only 2.
Oh,
like comparative to like
that's right.
Kakashi had like probably 8 to 10 episodes of just like flashback. I'm just like, damn, this is a lot. But I mean, like, it was good to like finally see Kakashi's story and like fill the gaps in like why Obito is the way he is, because that was
it's gonna get a lot. It's gonna be very start stop now where you're at. It's gonna get a little choppy.
Oh yeah, because like it's coming to an end. So
there's so much more left.
You're not even close. You're not even close.
I still got like 150 plus.
Dude, there is a point where you're just gonna be like, what the fuck? Like they add a new mechanic. Let's just say that.
Oh,
yeah, they put it. They start putting in the cheat codes.
And it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable.
Cause like the Obito thing was a thing I figured out a while ago. I have no idea what direction it could go. I mean, the war ended.
God, I forgot how much shit actually happened. Because you're at the nighttime portion of the war, I assume. Oh no.
Did you get to Guy Sensei's fight yet?
He's still in the daytime.
No.
I forgot how much shit happens in the war.
Dude, when you get to Might Guy's fight, like
that's
oh my
that's
God,
all
so
nighttime
good.
stuff. And like I'm thinking back to where he's at now. You said Obito's there. You said Madara's there as well.
The 4 Hokages were just.
There is so much fucking shit left. Holy fuck!
I know.
Yeah, dude, you're not even in Ninja Storm 4 yet. You're still at Ninja Storm 3.
Dude, I'm gritting my teeth. I'm just like, I need to see where this fight ends. Because the stop, it was so abrupt, man. It was good. It was a good story, but I'm just getting antsy. I want to see what happens to Naruto. And then Sasuke is back. He was just like hiding out for a little bit, figuring out his life. That Sasuke and Itachi arc was pretty cool. I like that. Itachi's a beast. He's one of my favorite characters in the series so far. But yeah, just trucking along. The old Shippuden.
Taking another step back into nostalgic early 2000s anime.
I didn't even know why you put this on here, but go on.
Because I found out that there was a Yu-Gi-Oh movie that came out in 2017.
Woof.
Yup. And
what?
It's not any of like the new series.
Wait, was it an OVA?
No, it's like a full-on movie that released into theaters. And the whole reason the mobile game, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links mobile game exists was a marketing. It was a marketing tactic for this movie, which I had no idea about.
This is all news to me.
They bring it back to like Kaiba and Yugi and all those dudes, and it's free on Prime Video right now.
Wow.
So yeah, I took the time watching that.
Wait, so does it?
My God, what a!
Does that go through the? So is it an OVA or is it original or what is it?
Okay, I like lose. I don't know what any of that stuff means.
Well, when I think of when I think of an OVA, I think of like it's the movie, quote unquote, but it basically just tells all the stories of the episodes in one clean sweep.
Is that what an OVA is?
Well,
I thought an OVA was just like an independently produced.
It stands for original video animation. But anytime I see a new OVA come out, usually it's just a movie recap of all the episodes.
So I guess I would consider this an OVA, but it's a completely new storyline that they add on to it. And it's like, I mean, you can add it to the canon. They got a lot of the original voice actors back, like Joey's.
Yugs!
Hey, Yugs! You got my dual disc? Just some Boston accent kid in the middle of Japan. It's so good. Like it's campy, but they do it so well that you don't even think about it. It's like the complete opposite of racism in The Umbrella Academy.
That's because there is no racism in Japan.
Oh yeah, totally. It's a racist-free environment.
Why do you think they let a Boston guy in there? The one dude had a fucking American flag do-rag on. I don't remember who that character was, but I do remember his American flag do-rag and his sunglasses.
He was an immigrant. He was a gaijin. You talking about Bandit Keith?
Oh, yeah.
Bandit Keith the American, the bandit. But yeah, like this was... It's like I never left the 2000s. It's so it just picks up where it left off. Like Joey's a clown. Tristan has another voice change, like he did in the first one, and Kaiba is just as edgy as ever, if not like he's the most the most grounded, arrogant character in all the anime. Like he's so ridiculous, but I believe everything he says. The man made his own private jet in the shape of a blue eyes white dragon. And just to fucking flex on people.
If you were to explain the show to anybody born today, it would sound like the stupidest shit in the world. But it's awesome.
But that's the thing about it. Yeah, like it's so ridiculous. Like the world revolves around being the best at this trading card. Like imagine if your social status was based on how good you were at Magic. That's Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'd probably be just as alone as I am right now.
Yeah, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi's only got like a couple friends and he's like the best. But yeah, I thought it was a great movie. They introduced like a new dueling mechanic, which is like dimension dueling, where you don't need to do any sacrifices and you just summon whatever. That part was kind of lame. It was still really good. Kaiba's just as good as ever. This takes place after the original series ended, and Kaiba's like just going crazy. Like he can't handle losing to the Pharaoh, so he's doing everything in his power to compensate that. So he's created like this super smart AI that recreates everything, and he like quote unquote says, or like I'm paraphrasing, but he says like, I made the Pharaoh to duel against to prove to myself that I can beat him once and for all, and I got every single detail down right, even every little perfect coiffed in his hair. So like they acknowledge how fucking stupid his hair is in the story. Like it's great. It's so good. And yeah, it's kind of just like, it's just more Yu-Gi-Oh! But with fresher takes, I guess. Everyone has smartphones now instead of like flip phones with keychains.
That's funny.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If you like the series, go check it out. But I can't like fully recommend it to anyone that has no experience with it whatsoever.
Remember that wing place we went to when you guys visited?
Oh,
you don't have to remember the name.
Crisp.
Yeah.
No.
It was Crisp.
Crisp.
Yeah.
Is it Crisp?
So the last time I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Was when I went in for an order and they were playing it on the TV, and it was the episode where Pegasus was dueling on TV and Yugi was watching it, and then all of a sudden Pegasus was like, and now it's your turn, Yugi boy, and he drags him into the TV and starts beating his ass at the card game. I was just like,
yeah, dude, it's so good.
And I was like, oh man, I really don't want to pick up my order right now because I'm actually kind of curious how this resolves itself.
I remember my favorite part of that series was they like possess Joey with like the Millennium items, and then he has to duel Yugi. But in order to duel, they both had to wear like this chain around their ankle, and if you lose, then you get hoisted into the ocean and you drown. And like, keep in mind, these are kids, and it's all for just like gaining the Millennium items and winning the card game. It's so good. I love how much that series leans into its ridiculousness without like feeling inauthentic. It's so
good. That's funny.
But yeah, moving on into the last segment of Chapter Black. I am caught up with... Oh, I'm not caught up. Wait, am I caught up? I've been watching God of High School.
Nice.
I think I'm on like episode 5 right now. My God, that show is so good.
It really took a turn. Because the last time we talked about it, I was like, oh, this is just a nice show about some kids fighting each other. Then all of a sudden, JoJo stands came out of nowhere. So that was interesting. And then also there's a cult that I don't know what the cult's about, but they seem to have a lot of JoJo powers.
Maybe I'm not caught up.
What episode did you leave off, or what do you remember of the last thing you saw?
You know what? I fell asleep and I had
What is it with you and falling asleep?
Because the only time I get to watch this shit is like before bed, when I can just like relish in all of its glory by myself.
You're watching like 8 A24 movies in a row like nothing, but then you fall asleep at everything else?
That's because I'm watching those with Tin. Like, I'm not gonna make her watch God of High School with me. She's not into that. So I watch my own time, which is like right before bed.
All right, so we'll put you on as maybe you saw it, or maybe you just had a fever dream and pretended you saw it for God of High School.
No, I'm halfway through the most recent episode to where I Jin and Huawei. I don't know his name.
Y. I actually remember all their names now. I've watched enough.
Dwai, yeah. Dwai and Jin are fighting, and
then you are cut up.
No, because I didn't finish that episode.
No, but you would have known about all the stand stuff.
I know about the stands. I don't know about the cult though.
Are
you just talking about like the organization?
Yeah, the organization
aspect of it.
Yeah. Well,
Gotcha.
I mean, like they do the scenes where they have like hooded robes and shit. I assume that's a cult.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the pacing's been great. I don't read it. I might start reading it.
I see readers complain about the pace, but then again, I don't care what they think because I don't know how to read. So it works out for me.
Wait, like they're complaining about...
They think it's too rushed.
Not enough detail? Oh, okay. Yeah, a little bit, but like... Coming from someone that has no background experience on it, like it's been fantastic. The violence is sensational. It's so good. Like it's cartoony Looney Tunes violence, but still takes place in the real world. And the way they get around that is because you're vaccinated with nanobots that heal you as you get damaged. It's checking all the boxes for me. This is probably one of the best things I've watched this year.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
I love it. I love how there's the evil Taekwondo. First of all, I love how like Taekwondo is the main martial art instead of like Kendo or something else, because this is a Korean-based story. And they got the guy who's like, my Taekwondo is evil. It's about being efficient in killing and war. And then the main character is like, I don't like your Taekwondo. Eat my foot. And then he just like kicks his ass. That's not what Taekwondo's about. And I'm like, yeah, that show's awesome.
It's a good show.
I love it so far.
It. How many episodes?
I think there are 5.
That theme song is ass, though.
Yeah, I hate it.
I don't like it. The first couple seconds are good, but then when they start like singing in English, it's so wow. It's not even that bad. It's dubsteppy for sure, but it's not like random horns and moans. It's just more so the lyrics where it loses me. He's like, "I'll be your contradiction." It's like, what does that even fucking mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It's provocative. Get some people going.
That's exactly what it is. Matt, you should definitely check this show out, though. I know Bob's watching it.
Oh yeah, Bob's obsessed.
Yeah, it's short. I mean, it's only 5 episodes, and I think it's only supposed to be 12 total. So you can burn through that.
It's
but
beautifully
that being
animated.
said,
it's so good.
While I would recommend you watch it, I don't want to interrupt your Naruto train. So, in fact, I don't want you watching any other anime except for Naruto until you're done.
I think I watched a comic got killed during Naruto.
But that's short.
Shippuden,
yeah, that's short.
Shippuden's kind of just been going.
And we talked about that already and how bad it is. So
okay, you can die.
It's not good.
You're not good.
Comic got killed is
we won't
not
talk about
good.
it.
Nope.
We won't.
Moving on. Going straight into Rex. And my Rex.
We'll die on that hill.
My Rex, a comic a kill. See you later, Rob.
One of the greatest animes I've ever seen.
Okay, well, I wouldn't go that far. Let's pump the brakes. Like, I like the show as much as the next guy, but I mean, relax. We need some control there.
The best.
Yeah. Okay. Got a high school best thing on Crunchyroll right now. Go check it out. I haven't watched ReZero yet. And Fire Force 2 season 2. I haven't checked out.
It's
yet.
good.
We'll get back to that next episode. We'll talk about it.
Are you still Tower of God, or is that not? No more
I finished Tower of God. Tower of God was awesome. I have nothing interesting to say about it besides go watch it. The first 7 episodes are basically set up for the last 3, or the entire season is set up for the last 3 episodes, and then it will blow your fucking mind. It's so good. But the ending. So, okay, one little bit about Tower of God. The entire series gave me, the entire 12-episode series gave me the same feeling as the entire 24-episode season of Demon Hunter, to where you watch those concluding episodes and you're like, oh, there's an entire world to this shit, and all of this was just set up. And that's exactly the sentiment I got from Tower of God.
Did they leave the tower?
No, they're still there, but the tower is abstract enough to where you don't really know what it is yet. They just keep giving you little hints, but that's not even the main point of it. It's the relationships, or just finish it if you haven't already. It's so good. I started reading it because I need to know what the fuck happens. And also that webtoon, they look nothing like they do in the anime. They look terrible. The webtoon is awful. It's a colored version of one's version of One Punch Man and Mob Psycho. It's not good. The faces are weird. You're reading it for the story. The systems are definitely more complex in the webtoon. Just go watch it, and if it doesn't tickle your fancy, then you're just an unticklish person, and I don't know what to tell you.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So let's get wrecked. Neglect, a comic got kill. That was Braxton's, right? And I tried checking this out, but I didn't know where to start. And it's the channel, that Japanese man Yuta.
I don't even think I'm subscribed to him. I just see his stuff pop up every once in a while, and it's usually interesting. But Yuta's just a dude in Japan, and he I don't know, he does interviews, and I think his profession is he teaches Japanese. But in doing so, he also teaches real world Japanese and culture, and when he does his interviews and stuff, it's about topics that are actually interesting. But recently, what he's done is start to dissect anime and the nuances in language in anime, because the main theme of all his anime episodes are that people in anime, when they're speaking Japanese, they're not speaking real Japanese. It's a very cartoonified version of Japanese. So if you were to learn all of your Japanese by watching anime, if you were to speak the same way, people on the street would think you're a weirdo, because that's not how real people talk. And so he goes into different characters in anime that are pretty famous. He does one about Naruto. He does one about He does one on Re:Zero because he talks a lot about Keigo speech, because in Japan there are levels of respectfulness in language, and in anime obviously they don't respect that a lot, but certain characters do, and certain characters follow it even though it's not necessary, because usually you're supposed to use Keigo with people who are either older than you or more senior than you, and so your language changes based on that. And so in Japan, or if you're watching an anime, only by hearing the words that the characters use, you can kind of tell the hierarchy there. But in English, for us, it doesn't matter. Like if I say hello to you guys, it's the same as saying hello to my boss. Now, obviously, we won't use the same, phrases and terminology if we're talking, with the boys as opposed to like with your coworkers. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But in Japan, there's like a specific language for it. And there's also a way to talk literary as well. And Japan is just very complicated, is what I've learned from his lessons. But it's just kind of cool to see how he breaks down a lot of anime speech, because there's a lot of nuance and there's a lot of comedy actually that comes from like being a native Japanese speaker and listening to some of the ways that people talk in anime that you just don't get in English, because there's no effective way to translate it. So that's kind of what I've been binging whenever he makes a new episode. And he's pretty cool. Like, I think the last episode he did an interview with a Japanese porn star. And he does street interviews too. So he asks like Japanese people topics on, life and stuff. So I think he's interesting. I think he's cool.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
That makes sense. It's like if someone thought English was like SpongeBob and then tried learning it through watching SpongeBob, and then they sound like they have, I don't know, underlying issues. That would make a lot of sense. Like, you can't go around Japan calling everyone baka. That would be completely disrespectful.
Yeah, it's because he really breaks it down. Like, he breaks it down from like the grammatical perspective and the language perspective. Like, there's I don't even know what they're called, but every Japanese sentence, depending on how you end that sentence, denotes how polite or impolite it is, and it can even denote like gender depending on some words you use. So it's very, like, I think when you're looking at languages to learn, I think English and Japanese are like the furthest apart of languages that are able to be learnt by the other, because of all the rules that just don't exist in both of the languages. Makes it very hard for like an English speaker to learn Japanese and vice versa.
You heard it from Braxton first. You can give up all your dreams about learning to watch anime without subtitles.
Yeah, basically. That, yeah. I mean, if you want to be shunned off the streets, start talking like Naruto, and no one will want to talk to you ever.
Believe it. Okay, moving on into my rec. I just came across this dude like randomly through the algorithm.
I did as well. I just saw what you posted. I saw this exact same video. Yeah.
I like this kid. He's very articulate.
He's pretty funny.
I'll watch him talk about anything. And, his name is D'Angelo Wallace. And like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, my guilty pleasure is just YouTube drama. It's so good. I don't know why. It's like the modern day version of like TMZ or whatever. But this video is about Shane Dawson and his fall from not even grace. Like, that dude's always been a fucking weirdo. But I always knew Shane Dawson's like a YouTube OG. I didn't even know he was still making videos until I saw this. And then I realized he's been making videos consistently since the early 2000s. And they've all been fucking weird because it touches upon bestiality, pedophilia, and just being an all-around fucking like weird sociopath. And then it finally hits the breaking point where he like went on Instagram Live for the first time after a confession video came out. And you see this dude's world crumble like on camera, when it should have like years ago, because of all the overwhelming evidence of like suspicious behavior. Like, that dude's bio should just say sus. Like, it's not good. Any of it. Some of it's just like super uncomfortable, and basically he's just a giant pervert. Like, that's all I want to go into detail, because that's like a super uncomfortable but eye-opening video.
I never watched any of this video because like he's an OG YouTuber. He's like him, Ray William Johnson, like Smosh, I think. Like all those are all the early dudes that I remember. I never watched his videos.
None of those dudes did blackface from a racist perspective either. Maybe Ray William Johnson.
I was about to say maybe Ray William Johnson, because he definitely used the N-word a lot.
Really?
In his early. Oh yeah. Ray William Johnson used the N-word. I'm telling you, man. YouTube back in the day, it was the fucking Wild West, dude. You could do anything on that website.
I'm glad, like, he addresses that. It wasn't like at a point of acceptability back then. It was just how things were. Not that anyone really bought into it, but it just shows the progression of how like we have evolved as a society, and just like a lack of a better term, like wokeness, and how, you know, these dudes were just hiding in plain sight and chalking it off as jokes and shit. And like, it was apparent then that was just a really weak excuse, but just watching a compilation of all that together is just like, yeah, why has this guy been successful for so long? And the answer is because kids are fucking stupid. And
yes, that is correct.
That's where we are with like Minecraft and the Pauls, and history will repeat itself. Huh?
Minecraft isn't that bad.
Just all the media surrounding it. You know, like the weird Minecraft porn channels and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
But yeah, go check it out. It's an excellent watch if you have nothing to do, or if you just want to have some background noise. And to conclude Matt's rec, why don't you tell us a little bit about Open Mike Eagles, I'm a Joe Star, for the first time, definitely not re-recorded, or has there been any breaks at all in between recording the first part of this and the second part of this?
Well, it's a great song. So the link that I've attached is actually from Adult Swim Toonami. And it shows a bunch of clips from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5. And it's a good song. Basically, Open Mike Eagle, kind of out there rapper. You should check out his other stuff too if you haven't listened to anything by him. But in this song, he just basically tells his story if he was a Joestar character. That's pretty cool. The music video doesn't really have anything to do with the lyrics. It's kind of just clips from Part 5. So give it a view, y'all. Link below.
I can't wait for Part 6 in like 10 years.
Awesome. All right. Take us out of here, Braxton.
Well, you know, it's us. We've got links abound. Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Twitter, the Twitter, Gmail for you adventurous folk out there. MySpace, Friendster, who knows? Wikipedia? I don't know.
Zanga?
If we had a Wikipedia page, what would it say on there?
Struggling.
something about Janae Aiko.
Well, yeah. Biggest fans.
All right, cool. Wear a mask, stay safe, and thanks again for joining, everyone.
Peace out, Girl Scout.